I see you snooping around, but I'm glad you're here. Come check this out. You won't believe this. I'm looking at this Mongoose Switchback Expert. Check out this price right here.
Wow.
So as you can see from where this bike started, it's at a huge discount. And I don't know if that's the in-store price or just the online price. It says you can pick up in the store for this price. But if you really can, this is a game changer. So you know what? We headed to Dick's to see if this is the actual price of this bike. I recently did a video on the Mongoose Switchback Expert, and I was excited about that bike, honestly, because for Mongoose to come out with the budget hardtail, that was pretty modern, I would say. It was pretty exciting, but the price, I didn't know about the price. That was a little underwhelming for me. I was expecting it to be a little bit better price than it was. At $699, I feel like that's decent price, but I think it might be a little bit too high for what you get with this bike. As you can see, the Mongoose is $549 now, which is a close price to the Ozark Trail. But I don't know if that's true or not in store. It said online, but we headed to Dick's right now to see if that's the in-store price as well. Because $549 is where I think that Mongoose Expert should be. I think I see it. I think I see it. Let's see if the price is actually $549. Oh, it's actually $549. That's crazy. As you can see, that's right where that price point should be. So now we're gonna go to Walmart, take a look at the Ozark Trail because I've never seen it in person, and see how the prices compare. All right, we made it to Walmart. I've never seen the Ozark Trail in person, so today is the day. And I just want to see what the components look like compared to the Mongoose Switchback Expert and see if the prices really make a difference, because that Switchback Expert is at a super competitive price now. All right, we got the Ozark Trail right here. And the first thing I've noticed, it's got mechanical disc brakes. Now, if you want to seriously mountain bike with this, you definitely don't want mechanical disc brakes. With the Mongoose, you get hydraulic disc brakes. And for an extra $150, I definitely think it's worth getting the Mongoose, because once you upgrade the brakes, you're already at that price point. But we do have another bike here that I want to check out because I've ridden it before. I know it's legit, but I think we have that same issue. So right here, this is the Schwinn Axum. I've ridden this bike at Trestle Bike Park. I know it's legit, but we have that same issue. Mechanical disc brakes. And for $548, when you buy a budget bike, you want it to come out the box ready to go. And I think with the Mongoose having hydraulic disc brakes, I think it's more ready to go truly mountain biking out of the box. And I just noticed one other thing. Now with the Mongoose, you get name brand tires, WTB Trail Boss tires. With this, you get Chow Yang, and I'm not really sure how good these tires are for mountain biking, but a lot of e-bikes come with these tires on them, and a lot of these seem to get flat tires, so I'm not really sure you want to go with these tires either. So for the same price, you get name brand tires on the Mongoose as well. I just noticed something else. So with this, you have a Schwinn branded fork. On the Mongoose, it's the Sun Tour is trash. Let me be honest about that, but I think it definitely will work better than this. I was a little bit skeptical telling you about this bike after the first video, because at $700, I think this bike was a little bit too overpriced. Not that it's a bad bike, I just don't think it was up to standards to the price point that it was at. But now, this is a whole different story. Now I'm wondering, do you think Mongoose actually listened to the customers, or do you think they were forced to drop the price? Because in my video, I mentioned how awesome of a bike this is, but it makes me wonder, did they look at the video, see your comments, and see that this bike was a little bit overpriced? That actually might be a possibility. I hope that's the case, because I think Mongoose said, you know what, we about to come out swinging. The bike is priced a little bit too high, so let's drop it down and get super competitive. At $549, this bike is more than worth it in my opinion. It's competing with bikes like the Trek Marlin at this point. It's actually a better value than the Trek Marlin, if I'm being honest, because you get name brand tires, you get a super nice frame, you get a tapered head tube so you can upgrade the fork. And like I said, the only issue which comes on all these bikes at this price point is the tubeless setup conversion. There are ways to do it, but these wheels don't come tubeless ready. If you can pull it off, then that's great. But that's the only thing that this bike is missing. So at the $549 price point, Mongoose said, we're gonna make it tough for y'all to beat us. So enough with the talk. Let's see what this bike can really do. I'm seriously surprised how well this bike climbs. It actually feels like a mountain bike. I don't feel like I'm riding a cheap piece of junk, as people like to say. All right, we made it to the top, and boy, I tell you what, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. Only because this fork is too springy and bungy. I'm doing this for you, so you don't have to, but make sure you hit that like button, because I'm not sure how this will go. I think it'll go pretty good, but I'm just not sure what to expect. All right, here goes nothing. Definitely taking it a little easy on this, because I don't trust these brakes. But so far so good. It actually doesn't feel too bad, honestly. I definitely need to get a chain protector on this bike. It's just this rear brake. I think I need to get some new pads or something. The front brake is fine. Man, you put a new fork on this bike and maybe some new brakes, I feel like a lot of people who will buy this bike usually wouldn't have access to this kind of terrain. So you probably won't even need the best brakes, because I'm literally riding downhill, and that's the only reason I feel like I need brakes. Now if I was just riding a normal trail, I think these brakes would be totally fine. I just stopped and noticed this. This looks just like a bike fork. Tell me, does that look like a bike fork to you? It's a long fork. I feel like I do need to upgrade this bike now that it's a reasonable price, and I think that people can actually get their money's worth with this bike. I think it's worth doing some upgrades to show you what this bike is actually capable of. Now what I'm trying to figure out is right here. It's trying to figure out is my clutch on. It doesn't feel like it's on. Like when I click it up, am I not doing it right or something? I don't even know if it's on or not, because this thing is just doing that. I don't know if I should. Let's see. Yeah, let me know if you know why this thing is acting like this, because if you look at it, I don't think my clutch is on, because it shouldn't be flopping that much, I don't think. See, it says if I go up, it's off, but it's down. So maybe I just need a new derailleur or chain or more tension on the chain. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. It says it's on because off is this way, but it's facing this way. It's not pulled back that way. So I'm guessing it's on. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a lot of chain slap though. tires on this bike though, they feel really good. The fact that you get name brand tires on a bike like this at this price point, I think that's a huge advantage over the other options. The only thing stopping me from just plowing through this are these brakes. Just the rear brake though. The front brake is doable. It's nimble. Feels like an actual mountain bike. Yeah, that's crazy how much fun you can have for $500. Go down the chunky part, handles it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That chain is going crazy. Oh, that was chunky. Switchback Expert, baby. Getting the job done. I could just imagine how good this bike would feel if I could really dial in the tire pressure. But I can't because it's not tubeless. I think that would kind of even out the suspension situation. Wow. Oh my goodness, that was sketch. That was sketch. That was sketch and the Mongoose did it. Let's go. I've never hit that little feature right there. That was crazy. Good thing about having those 29s is I could just roll off the edge of that rock, because if I had anything smaller, that could have got a little dicey. Oh, this bike is a beast. I'm telling you, a few minor upgrades, and this is the real deal. Let's hit this little tiny drop right here. See what it feels like. Not bad. Dang. Oh shoot. Dropped the chain. I smoked too soon. Yeah, I think we gotta fix the chain situation too without a chain slap, because yeah, I just dropped the chain on that drop, but that was the first time it happened. Brake bumps from hell right there. These burns on this section are so fun. Let's take the rocky part. Let's take the techy part. Oh man, that was my fault. I chose the wrong line right there. Yeah, I was caught in between. I didn't know which way I wanted to go, because it's loose, and I was about to go over a section on that rock that would have probably washed my front tire out. So I couldn't make up my mind. RIP crank arm. I scratched it up bad. But that's something you'll end up replacing on this bike down the road anyway. This is so fun. This bike is fast. Whee! Whew. Let's go. The Mongoose survived, and it was fun. Definitely capable of a trail like that with no problems. Because I felt like I was pushing this bike harder than somebody who just bought this bike will be pushing it. So it's definitely capable. Now, who is this bike for? I think this bike is for somebody trying to get into the sport, or you're already in the sport, but you have a little bit cheaper bike with not as modern components, and you want to step it up a notch without breaking the bank. This is definitely the perfect bike. It has a tapered head tube, modern geometry, name branded tires, internal routing for a dropper post, hydraulic disc brakes. Now that is insane at this price point. So I honestly say you should definitely consider this, even over something like the Trek Marlin, because you don't even get a tapered head tube or tubeless compatible wheels with the Trek Marlin either. So this is definitely the most bang for buck at the current moment, in my opinion, as far as entry-level hardtails, or just a modern hardtail that can get you into the sport and get you riding trails like I just rode.